So the other day when my daughter Savannah's in the middle of her Zoom class, she kind of like leaves the room and she goes, "Hey mom, do we have a pencil sharpener anywhere?" And I was like, "I don't think so. Like, why do you need a pencil?" She's like, "Yeah, my pencil, it's not working anymore. I've actually been sharpening it with scissors." This is her actual pencil she was using. And I was like, okay. Pretty sure you have like a million in your room, right? And she was like, "No, I can't find any of them." And I was like, "Of course." Like, Savannah's very messy and she loses a lot of stuff. So I was like, it's no problem. I go to the kitchen, I go to grab her pen, right? So I'm walking back to her room. Her cat, who likes no one in my house except for Savannah, by the way, is waiting for me. The second my little toe steps foot through her door, she just right in my toe. So I fall to the ground and I was like, fuck. Whole class hears me, so embarrassing. Anyways, don't care. So I go to give her the pen and she goes, "Mom, I can't use that. I can't use a pen because I don't want to mess up my notes." Y'all, look at her notes. Look at this paper. My daughter.
This is why you should never step foot on the faraway dock. In 1994, an 11-year-old named Mark arrived at summer camp and made his way over to the dining hall where the director was going to talk about the next couple of weeks. The director emphasized that no one was allowed to swim out to the dock located way out in the middle of the lake, although she didn't say why. Mark and the 3 other boys in his cabin were so intrigued by this faraway dock that the next day during lunch, while everyone was eating, they hopped in the lake and started swimming out. When they finally got out to the dock, they were a little bit let down because it looked like any other dock. But they decide to make the best of it. They climb on top and they start playing the game where they all stand on one side until it floods. Last one to fall off wins. As the corner sank, they started to hear a scratching sound coming from underneath the dock. Suddenly, hundreds of these big meaty spiders come crawling out through the breaks in the wood and slide down the slanted dock towards the boys, who panic and fall forward, and there's spiders swarming their hair and their face. Turns out the dock was off limits because it was overrun with dock spiders, and the boys flooded their nest.
On the way to the liquor because I wanted candy. Don't worry, I'm not getting anything else. And then I saw a small envelope on the floor and I was like, I need to open it. Long story short, I opened the envelope and it's like this number, and on the top it's like, "Don't call or else like you'll get bad luck or you'll get killed at night." I was like, dude, I'm gonna call it. It's probably like someone's auntie. No, it wasn't someone's auntie. Call the number. This guy picks up. He's laughing, heavy breathing. He's like, "I know who you are. Thanks for calling. I'm gonna follow you until the end now." When I asked for a secret admirer, I did not mean a stalker.
Welcome to ridiculous shit going on around the world right now that for some reason you just haven't heard about. Part 12. First off, President Trump just signed a COVID-19 relief bill, and included in there was something about aliens. Included in the bill was that the Pentagon has 180 days to turn over all information they have on UFOs to the public. So we might get official government confirmation of aliens this year. Also, China recently created their own artificial sun. It can heat up to 150 million degrees in a matter of seconds, and it is 10 times hotter than the core of the sun. Also, scientists recently found 2 new types of fungi that turns flies into zombies. Let's just hope that this doesn't somehow spread to humans.
Okay, so many people were confused on why she was touching the mirror like that, but I'm gonna spill a tea on what she was doing. Let's go. In her video, she goes into a public restroom where she notices that there's a mirror facing the toilet. Weird, right? Now, I don't know about you, but I would automatically assume that there's a peeping Tom with a hidden camera behind there. If you rip the mirror out of the wall, you're probably gonna face destruction of property charges, and you don't want all that, right? That's when you do the gap test. This is my bathroom mirror, and I'm gonna show you exactly what to do. When you're touching the mirror, there shouldn't be any
Storytime of how I found out that there was a guy living in my attic. I'm even pretty sure there's a couple articles on this. So basically, living in the house was me, my mom, my dad, and my younger sister. This story ends up taking a huge twist, so just stay tuned for that. Also, keep in mind that my boyfriend's name at the time was Jacob. When I first started to notice that there was somebody else in my house was when I first started dating Jacob. Mind you, the only time anybody in my entire family has ever been in the attic is the first 2 months that we lived there, and it was only once or twice, and we never seen anything up there. So we would notice that bits of our food would go missing, And every time we packaged leftovers, the leftovers in the Tupperware that we packaged the leftovers in would just completely disappear. And a bunch of my stuff would always go missing. For example, 2 of my pillows and 4 of my blankets gone missing, and my shoes and my clothes, and even my underwear. So one day my boyfriend came over and he left around 1 a.m. So the rest of my family was sleeping. Also, I have the whole entire upstairs to myself, and my mom, dad, and my sister sleeps downstairs. This story just ends up getting really crazy, so like for a part 2. Part 2 of how I found out that there was a guy living in my attic. Continuing with the story, I go downstairs and I walk my boyfriend out to the car. Of course, trying to be quiet because the rest of my family is sleeping. So I go back upstairs. Mind you, I have the whole upstairs to myself. And then I go to the bathroom and there was pee in the toilet. And on the wall in front of the toilet, it said Jacob was here with a heart. So I took a picture of it and I posted it on my private story because I just thought it was funny and cute at the same time. And he slid up and said, what? And then he swore up and down that it wasn't him. So anyways, it freaked me out at first, but at the same time, I didn't really care. So I didn't really pay any mind to it. So to speed the story up, my dad had to go in the attic for something, and he found an actual mattress covered in insulation. And in the corner, he found a guy. The guy looked very sickly, skinny, but scary at the same exact time. So, of course, my dad called 911 right away, and the guy admitted to stealing our food, stealing my underwear, stealing things out of my room, basically stealing from us overall, stealing our food, etc. I'm running out of time, but he ended up being a wanted criminal, but he's in jail now, so yeah.
Good morning. I just woke up, so I may be looking a little dusty. So mind your business. Anyways, it's a new year, so you know what that means. New bitch. Just kidding. I'm saying the still. Not me saying same the still. Not me saying same the still. Clearly, I can't function right now. Anyways, I'm finna tell you guys about how my New Year's went because I was chaotic. Every day I wake up and I choose chaos. So I woke up December 31st, went to work. Yes, I had to go to work, but it was a half day, so you know, bless it. After work, I did a little bit of carpool karaoke with one of my friends, which was very, very, very fun. Then I went to my other friend's house and I started drinking. And that was when I started acting a fool. Y'all remember that one trend? Girl, I love it when we fuck. I did that, but make it with vodka. I love it when we fuck. Then after that, I projectile vomited. It was disgusting. And I was so ham-boned that I couldn't even stay up till 12. I went to bed at 10:30. And I was supposed to run around my house at 12 with my suitcase.
This is why you should never spend the night on Niku Island. In 1937, while on her flight around the world, Amelia Earhart mysteriously vanished over Howland Island in the Pacific Ocean. Despite an enormous search, she was never found. 3 years after her disappearance, a scientist discovered an incomplete skeleton on this tiny, uninhabited island called Niku Island that wasn't too far from Howland Island. It looked like whoever's bones these were, they had been ripped limb from limb. But when the bones were examined, they determined they were not Amelia Earhart's. But in 2017, a forensic anthropologist re-examined the bones and determined they were almost definitely Amelia's. So scientists went to Niku Island and they found freckle cream, something Amelia was famous for using. So the working theory is she crash-landed on Niku Island and she fell asleep somewhere on the beach. Then, after smelling her blood, hundreds of 3-foot-wide coconut crabs came out of their burrows, swarmed her, and ate her.
One day in elementary school, it was lunchtime. A bitch had to go potty. It was poo-poo time. So I remember I went to the restroom and I was exploding or whatever. And these girls walked in. We're gonna call them the Chipettes, okay? This is the best part. So the Chipettes start yelling in the bathroom. Is someone here? Can someone hear me? Like, I didn't say anything. I was literally taking a shit. Like, what? These girls, deadass, start laughing. They turn off the lights in the bathroom. They turn on all the sinks, whatever. And they start saying like Bloody Mary or some shit. And then the Chipettes run out of the bathroom and shut the door. So here I am getting casted on. I remember seeing a shadow. I fell on my ass and I start screaming and crying. It wasn't good. So someone called the janitor. Janitor walks in to check up on me. It's a guy.
This is why you should never eat a cult's applesauce. During his stay in a psych ward in the 1970s, Marshall Applewhite formed an intense, non-romantic relationship with his nurse, Bonnie Nettles. They quickly realized aliens had preordained their encounter, and now they needed to board their spacecraft once the aliens came back to Earth to give them the signal. The pair formed a cult called Heaven's Gate, and they recruited people by telling them if they missed this one UFO ride, they would be destroyed when the Earth was inevitably recycled. Their cult was considered a joke and not a threat until they did something so horrific it shocked the world. On March 26, 1997, the aliens were going to be passing overhead, hiding behind a comet, and it was now time for the members to hop on board. Over the course of 3 days, members donned matching Nike sneakers, ate poisoned applesauce, tied bags over their head, and then waited to exit the Earth. Right before they died, they conducted exit interviews, and they are truly disturbing.